Oh, what's going on, YouTube? Back at you with another video. Hey, just watching me some videos on YouTube, and I am let's see, doing some of my receipts. These were all in my wallet, to tell you the truth. All these. Can you believe all these were in my wallet? Looking like a old man with a whole bunch, but they were all folded up neatly. Little thick. So when I get to a certain amount in my wallet, which my wallet's thick already, you see, thick already, I clean them out, I label them, and then I stick them in my shoebox like old school guys do. Now, granted, there are other ways to do your so-called bookkeeping. I wouldn't even say so-called, it is bookkeeping. Your bookkeeping of all your receipts, things that you purchase, whether that's your lunches, your meals, your gas for equipment, your gas for your vehicles, same thing, equipment. Let's see, any type of, yeah, that's just my wife coming in. That's just my wife coming in, disturbing my video like she usually do. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it at all. Don't worry about it at all, guys. You know what I mean? So, I'm doing a video, but she don't care. She don't care. She don't care. My wife doesn't care. She just wants me to do something. But anyway, guys, but she needs me to actually break down the iron board. She needs a man to break down the iron board. She needs the man to break down the iron board. She can't figure it out, guys. She can't figure it out. She can't figure it out. Oh, by the way, the iron board was created by a black woman. One of the things that was created. But anyway, a black woman can't break down the iron board. You know, it is what it is. I think I gotta go to the saver. You get it done? You break it down? There's only like a little lever on there. Anyway, guys, hey, that just went that way. Anyway, what was I talking about before my wife rudely interrupted me? So you got your receipts for your gas, for your maintenance, for your gas, maintenance, repairs, tools. One day I'll make a video of my list that I have when I give to my CPA, from all the way from dump fees, all that type of stuff. And you got to be your own keeper sometimes. So I know that there's an easier way out there to do this, but I just been stuck in my old ways when I first started doing it. And just, you hear, hey, keep your receipts, blah, blah, blah. Now, at the click of your phone, you can scan them and it throws it into your QuickBooks or whatever, and it separates them. You can do that. I just haven't did that yet, guys. I usually start calculating and organizing my receipts in October, once everything starts slowing down. And year after year, it's going later and later and later. So my CPA guy, he always extends doing my taxes until October. So that's the extension usually for businesses to extend. I think everybody can do it, but usually businesses take advantage of extending their getting their tax prepared and getting everything that they need in, because the average business once January, February hit, businesses usually don't get all their paperwork in, all their tax materials, so they get extended an extra 6 months, and then they can file in October, before October the 15th. On October the 15th or before, as long as they don't go over October the 15th, then they won't be penalized. But usually businesses usually extend their tax preparation due to the fact that you just got stuff always coming in, like as far as you just kind of got to wait a little bit, because you could have, so say for instance with me, like with real estate, the business, and then my W-2s, things like that. All this stuff have to come in, and I have to have this all ready and prepared and given to my CPA. So I calculate a lot of my stuff. I don't have the CPA. I don't give my stuff to the CPA and they calculate it, and I don't do that. I kind of get all my receipts together. I get all my things that I'm writing off, and I tally it all up. It's fun. I wouldn't say it's fun to me, but I don't mind doing it. I mean, it keeps me engaged in what I'm spending, and I don't want to be kind of surprised. You give your numbers or things to your CPA or your financial advisor or whoever you got doing your taxes or tax preparator or whatever. I don't want to be surprised, so I like to see numbers and stuff, and then my CPA guy can always ask me, what about this? What's this? What's this number? Sometimes I have to go back and find something for them to kind of make sense of the number that I gave to them or calculated. But you have to wait for a lot of your insurance stuff. You have to calculate all your miscellaneous, like things that you write off, as far as your cell phone bills, your internet, all these things. Because say for instance, like if you're on social media, you got to wait for your YouTube stuff to come in, as far as so that you can give to them too. So I don't know when the YouTube stuff gets mailed out to you and all that stuff, because I don't know. So this will be the first year that I get something from YouTube to show that they gave me some money, for a couple of my videos, or monetization of my videos. And trust me, guys, I'm not making nothing. My videos are not exciting like that. I don't have a big following. So I'm not really making anything at all. Nothing. So, I'm getting cents upon cents that might add up to $100 or something like that. You know what I mean? So, my stuff ain't even coming in every month. So with YouTube, and I'm sure a lot of the guys out there know about YouTube, with the big following and stuff like that. You have to meet that threshold of earning monetization up to $100. And once you hit $100, then they'll release you a check or send it to your bank account of your choice. So, man, it might be 2 or 3 months that go by before I even hit $100. You see what I'm saying? So every 3 months or whatever, or 4 months, once it gets calculated up to $100, Then they'll send me, they'll deposit it into my account. I'm a nobody on YouTube. I'm a nobody. I don't have a big following. And I told you guys, I usually use, I'm not, I would love to have a big following and things like that, and man, rake in the cash and all that stuff to help and to do other things and stuff like that. But shout out to all the guys that's actually doing it. Shout out to you guys, because it's really, it's actually, some people will say, well, it's easy, you know, to get monetized and start having, you know, I think it all a combination of, you know, your videos, what type of videos, who likes your videos, things like that. All that plays a part in it. So if that plays a part in it, then that plays a part in your you collecting any type of revenue from it. So, but I told you guys, really, I'm on here basically for stress relieving, therapy. I get to talk to you guys and engage with you guys. I'm actually letting whatever I got, any type of frustrations out, and sharing a lot of things that I go through and what I know and stuff like that. It's therapeutic to me to actually just do this, get on here and get it out. If you bottle things up and you bottle your frustrations up, one day you're just going to explode. So this is just another outlet for me to actually get everything out, talk, express, and to document, you know, my journey. And really, I'm only on here for basically when my kids, one day, I'm not going to be here. We're all going to be, you know, fading away, and one day we will fade. My sons, my daughter will be able to look back, hear my voice, see my progression, see my face, see what I was going through. They might be able to look at a couple of videos and say, oh, that's what my dad was talking about as far as how he handled this, how he handled that, how he actually charged people, what he charged. Why does he charge an extra 50 cents on his lawns? You know, all that's been documented, why I do what I do. And hopefully they'll want to know a little bit more once they get more curious of the business side. You know, hoping that my son kind of takes on and gets, see the benefits of running a business or becoming his own boss, along with doing whatever he want to do, you know. But yeah, that's the only reason why I actually make these videos, to tell you the truth. It's not for any type of trying to get any type of fame or money or things like that. I told myself that this is a great way, since YouTube, as long as YouTube is in existence, my son, my daughter can go back and look at videos of me, see me, hear my voice. Because guys, one day, if you're not documenting your mom or your dad, or you didn't document your mom or your dad or your grandparents and stuff, they're going to be lost forever. I wish we would have had this, a lot of technology when my grandmother was alive and my grandfather, where the VHS tape recorders was in play, where I could have video them, talk to them. Because I've always been like a person that took a lot of pictures. I've always been a person to kind of document, write in journals, write in diaries, things like that, of things happening to me. Like right now, when I was like 19, I still got the calendar that I had on my wall when I was going through my taking classes, along with working at Home Depot and working at the Best Western Hotel as security, working in the lumber department and cashier at Lowe's. I also worked at Home Depot for a little bit. I also worked at Toys R Us when it was in business. That was my second job that I had. My first job was a place called Old Country Buffet, which is a buffet spot in Maryville, Indiana. I don't even think it exists, but I used to work there. That was my very first job. My very first job was cutting grass, to tell you the truth. Then my W-2 was, my very first W-2 was Old Country Buffet that was in Maryville, Indiana. I worked there as a dishwasher. Then I moved up to carving the ham, or carving we had ham on there all the time, and roast beef. The roast beef, I would have to slice that. I was doing that. I worked at the front door, greeting people to come in and stuff like that. What else did I do? Dishwasher. I did bussing there. And yeah, so all these details that I'm actually saying now will be something that, if my kids are interested, they could go watch a video. You know what I'm saying? So that's the blessing that I take with this YouTube, and I'm able to share myself with others, and hopefully share some things with my children. So like I said, I've been documenting a lot of my life way before YouTube began, because I got videotapes of my mom, her birthdays. Once that camcorder came out, even I still have videos of me and my buddies. Once that camcorder came out, my brother worked at Sears. Now Sears is gone, you know what I mean? But my brother worked at Sears in the electronic department, so he had access to getting one Christmas the VHS camcorders. So once he got that, man, it was on from there. Once I seen what it do, and I can like videotape, actions, and videotape my buddies and hanging out with them, and just documenting some of the things that we used to do and how we used to be when we were 16, 17. No, about 16, 17, 18, 19. So yeah, I was probably 16, at least when I was 16, when I first got that, when my brother brought home for Christmas for my mom, the camcorder. I was probably taking the camcorder and just filming everything, you know what I mean? So I've always been like that. So in reality, that's why I do the YouTube. It's therapeutic, and my kids, and I've said this plenty of times, but anyway, like I said, I got like this receipt right here. I'll open it up. I'll keep it. What is this one? This is a lunch that I had, me and my son. I write these down and miscellaneous. I'll put lunch down, and then I'll calculate all the lunches and everything like that. I would do that, and then let's see. Wait. So I would document it as like lunch / miscellaneous. I'll get all these that I have like this, and I'll just have a row, and I'll just put it in that category. What's another one on here? I would say I'm almost done with these receipts though. What is this one? This is another lunch that I took from Subway. And here's a gas receipt, you know. And here is another Subway when I went to eat lunch. Miscellaneous / lunch. And I'll just write it on here too. I'll just write miscellaneous lunch. I'll put business. And then I'll put 2025. Put 2025. And I'll set that mug to the side. This is another one. What is this one? Another Subway lunch. Miscellaneous lunch, 2025 business. Lunch. Miscellaneous. 2025 business. And then when I have stuff for like my real estate, like repairs, things like that, you know, I put repair, maintenance. And then, you know, there'll be one day that I'll categorize all these. It might look crazy, but I'm so used to it. I've been doing it for the last 10 years, so I'm so used to it. It's just that I've been pushing it further and further back due to the fact that, you know, once my CPA guy extends it, I still have it ready before the April 15th. And I might have some stuff that I still got to wait on. But usually I get all my stuff beforehand. I'll have it. There might be something else that I got to grab or wait for something to come in sometimes. But usually I try to have all my paperwork and everything everything done for him to give. But like I said, he probably does not just my stuff, but a lot of other businesses. So he probably does some. I have no clue. Just gets it done. I've never been audited. Anything like that. Knock on wood. I never tried to do anything. I never tried to do any type of scamming or whatever the case is. And it's guaranteed that if something comes back, there shouldn't be nothing I have to worry about. They will fix it, and they're guaranteed that, if something comes back out of whack or whatever, that they will fix it to the point where I don't really have to deal with it. You know what I mean? So I've been fortunate that, you know, I've had a good CPA guy, and, you know, and it's not too much that I have that's going to question anything, because I try to stay in a straight line. I don't try to deviate or try to scam or do any type of miscalculating and all this stuff or adding on to. I just calculate everything up, get everything together. I look at my past, the previous taxes and everything that I, came up with, and then compare them. That way I am kind of knowledgeable on year after year where's my money going, what am I spending it on, the most that I'm spending my money, where am I spending it at. And I'll tell you right now, you know, as a business, once you get past, paying and stuff for your equipment and things like that, as far as notes, paying for your trucks and things, once you get all that out of the way, your expenses usually is going to be labor. That's going to be like your number one expense if you have people working for you, labor. And then you're going to have the second expenses is probably maintenance. And then the third is basically So you got maintenance, and then supplies. What it takes to run the business, insurance, things like that, supplies. Once you get past that, those are going to be your big expenses, like insurance, maintenance, and your supplies. Once you can get past that threshold of not having to pay for notes on your mowers, your trucks, your equipment. But you're always going to have some sort of payment if you're trying to stay with newer mowers and things like that. You're going to always have some sort of payment unless you're out paying it right. You know, if you're paying just for paying it outright cash. So a lot of guys, you're not going to be fortunate enough to do that, but in order to do that, you got to be very profitable. And if you're very profitable, where you have something set aside where you, stack about 10, 12, 15 grand, where you could just go out and buy you a zero turn, you're doing good. If you could buy it straight cash, you're doing good. But if you want to build relationships with Sheffield and all that, and say, for instance, you do have the cash to outright buy it, right? If you're just starting out, I would say go through the Sheffield, and get the loan through them. They usually give you 0%, for the first year or whatever the case is, or it's very low interest. But usually you could catch them where it's 0% for, it might be for the first year or the first 2 years, but usually it's the first year. I would say even if you did have the cash, but you didn't have a relationship built with Sheffield, I would say go through Sheffield, have that cash, go through Sheffield, get it through them, and then pay it off. Just pay it off if you want to do that, or just throw half of what you was going to pay on that for that first. Once you get your bill in, pay half of it, and then as you go throughout the year, keep paying on it, or pay for it at the end of the year. That way you don't pay any interest. You done paid it off before the year, and you're building a relationship and building credit with Sheffield if you're just starting out and you got the cash. You see what I'm saying? So don't just think that if you just got the cash, hey, I'm going to take all this cash, this 15 grand, and I'm going to throw it and buy me something, buy me a zero turn in the beginning stage of running my business. Sometimes you got to be smart about it. You want to build credit. You want to build that relationship with Sheffield, or whatever, one that you can go through for that. So, but anyway, guys, let me get out of here. I hope you learned something. Hope you learned something about me. But like I said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Hey, this is raw and uncut channel. It might not be the glitz and the glamours, but I keep it real on here. I try to be as genuine as possible, and I'm not here to steer anybody any sort of way of how I do things. Some things that I do might work for you, and sometimes it might not. Depends on what area you're in or what stage of business you're in. But if you take a look, if you subscribe to my channel and you take a look at my journey and everything that I've been through, and some of the things, the progress that I've been through, that I went through, put it like that. It's actually a learning experience for me, and it'll be a learning experience for you. And like I said, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. There's something for everybody, and there's something that everybody could take away from each other and learn from each other, feed off each other, and go from there. So I'll see you on the next video, and don't forget to like the video, share, interact with the video, leave me a comment, It all helps, and I'll see you on the next video.